Hey guys, welcome back to the Snipe and Score podcast for the podcast again today. All I got to say to start off with the intro is play Freebird, but Sean will tell us what we're talking about today.
We're talking about the Olympics. We're talking about a trade, and we are also talking about a couple of injuries. But yes, cue up Freebird. I don't know if I can edit that into podcast episode. I'm sorry. We're not live on the air today. Unfortunately, they're doing some repairs in the radio station, but we will be back not next week because we're on break, so we won't be here at school. But the week after, we will be back Wednesdays on WSBU 88.3 FM. Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. But for now, for this week and next week, we are back to being a podcast. But we'll be a radio show before you know it again. We couldn't upload the episode from last week that we did on the air because we were still getting things sorted out. It was our first time on the air. But we'll have an episode for you next time.
And for clarity purposes, y'all didn't really miss much. We just went over a couple of transactions and went over the Olympics, and that was about it. So y'all really didn't miss anything. Obviously, the NHL hasn't been on for 2.5 weeks now, but we're back tonight. Thankfully, NHL hockey has returned, and great time for the upcoming trade deadline on the 6th, which will be celebrating our 1-year anniversary with you guys.
Yes. I'm super excited for next week's episode, 1-year anniversary, trade deadline special. That's how we got started. Mm-hmm. It's already been 1 year. Can you believe that? 20 episodes. We're doing stuff. We're making stuff happen.
I wish so badly we could live stream trade deadline day, but
that would be fun.
We'll see. We'll work on it. We'll let you guys know. We'll see. But yeah, let's start out with the injury news. We'll start with the big one first that happened before the other injury. Kevin Fiala out for the year after getting tangled up with Tom Wilson at the Olympics. Lower body injury. It looked a little bit of an awkward play where they kind of just got tangled up. They went down to the ground and Fiala hurt something. I'm assuming it's an ankle or something in that general vicinity of his body. But definitely a lower body injury out for the year. It's a massive blow for the Kings, who, as we've mentioned in the former episode, acquired Artemi Panarin, who I don't know if you saw. Him and the mascot made a number trade, and the mascot got a nice Rolex watch for the number, which I thought was pretty cool. 72. So Artemi's back to his Blackhawks number, which I think is pretty awesome. But big blow for the Kings because Fiala, even though he's having a somewhat down year, he's still an electric player, and he's one of their better scorers. And to lose a guy like that's really going to affect the lineup, especially now that they thought they're going to add another scorer. Now Panarin's essentially going to be the replacement for Fiala.
Yeah, good thing they actually traded for Artemi Panarin. Because Can you imagine if they hadn't, they would be down one of their top 6 forwards, and that's not a good sign for the Kings. But they replaced him with Panarin, point per game score. Maybe he'll slide right in. We'll see how the chemistry unfolds. I think they're back today, right? The Kings.
I believe so. I think every team will be back today and tomorrow.
And this is Wednesday. We're recording this. I would love to see how Panarin fits in with the Kings, especially after the Fiala injury. It's a huge blow. Do you think the Kings are in the market again for another forward now that Fiala's out? Maybe a guy who's a pending UFA. Like, I know they've extended Panarin, but he was a pending UFA before they signed him to the extension.
Unless they're 33 plus, no.
Yeah. My thing is that I think they traded for Panarin with the expectation that obviously, they're going to have a.
He's going to help open up the lineup.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if they look for someone at a low cost who's just going to be a UFA. I don't know.
I got a guy in mind that could sign. Jeff Skinner. He's over 33.
Yep.
He's a goal scorer. He fits the LA Kings what they need. Because if they're over 33 years old, the Kings want you. If you're under that, they don't want you. Apparently. That's what it seems like. Because they are signing old guys.
That's a very good point, actually. I didn't even think about that. Good call. Well, the Kings.
Sorry, Kings fans. We love you guys. I have nothing wrong with LA. We all love the Alec Martinez winner against the Rangers when they won your cup. But y'all see, and you guys know it. Like, you guys hate it just as much as we do. Like, you guys keep signing guys that are over the hill or just bad and they're old.
So Jeff Skinner would be perfect.
Skinner would be perfect.
By the way, before I keep going, I'm sorry that my face is so dark. I forgot my light and it's dark in here. I'm sorry. So I look like I'm like bursting out of a shadow or something. I got like the left side of my face covered. It's kind of funny. Anyway,
he's being vigilante today.
Yeah, I'm being vigilante today. That's right.
Funny because we're not talking about the Flyers,
dude. All right. Another injury. This one is also pretty big. It also happened during the Olympics.
It did.
This is Sidney Crosby we're talking about. He is out at least 4 weeks after an awkward hit in the Olympics. He missed the gold medal game. I'm trying to think about how the Penguins feel about this. Obviously, you don't want to miss Sidney Crosby, but I think coming into this season, Kyle Dubas wasn't really expecting the Penguins to win, right? And we're going to talk about a trade that kind of proves my point later in the episode. I think this was kind of just a retool year for the Penguins, and now they're doing so well. So it's almost like if you miss Sidney Crosby, I don't know. I mean, did they want to make the playoffs? Sure, I think it'd be cool to see him back in the playoffs, especially since Sid and Malkin. I don't know if we're going to see him again after this season.
Probably the last ride for those two. Well, together at least. I think Sid still plays with Gino, I think.
Right, yeah, exactly.
we'll see where he goes.
So, that stinks. But at the same time, I think the Penguins are bummed. I think the fans are bummed. But I know Dubas has his fist in the air saying, hell yeah, because I want my damn draft pick. I want a good pick. So maybe if Sid's gone, let's see this team hit a steady decline. And I want my Gavin McKenna or, I want my top 2 pick.
That's why I'm confused about for the Penguins this year, because you'd think that they'd want to kind of just have a retool year, kind of like Boston had last year. You trade away your veteran guys or trade away guys you got 1-year contracts, get some picks and prospects, have a top 10 pick, and then maybe this next upcoming year you contend for a playoff spot, just like the Bruins. They looked like that in the beginning of the year when they went on that massive skip, and then all of a sudden they've just hit a hot streak again. And who knows, maybe with Sydney out, they go back down on that the cold streak, and because of the Eastern Conference, unless you're the Rangers, you're screwed. So maybe it'll happen. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, it's huge for Pittsburgh. Obviously, Crosby, is their best player. He's the captain. He's the heart and soul of Pittsburgh and has been since he's been drafted. He's one of the reasons, if not the reason, why Pittsburgh was still a team back when they drafted him.
Yeah.
In 2004. No, 5. 2005. 2005. OV was in 04. But yeah, it sucks for Penguins fans. I personally don't care for Sidney Crosby. I always thought he was a player that I just whined and moaned a lot, but I've got the ultimate respect for him. He's a fantastic player. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer and should be unanimous and shouldn't even be close. He's going to have his number retired in the Raptors in Pittsburgh one day, and it's all rightly deserved, but it's a huge blow. And if I'm the Penguins, I've got Justin Brazeau having a career year. We have Anthony Mantha having a resurgent year, both on 1-year deals.
Sure.
If we're out at a deadline spot, a little bit of a preview here, I can see them both fetching at least a first round pick.
First round for both of those
at
guys.
Least. They're both still somewhat young, too. They're not even
getting up there.
Mantha's almost not even 30 yet.
I think Mantha is 30.
Is he 30?
He's definitely 30. I think he might be 32 or 33. But
I didn't think he was that old.
Mantha is, I think he was 27 when the Capitals acquired him. So he's 31.
God, I'm getting old. God.
We're 21.
Golly, I'm getting old.
But going back to what you said about Sidney Crosby, I'm a Capitals fan, and I have the utmost respect for Sidney Crosby. Obviously it's one of those things where 10 years ago, I couldn't stand him because
I still can't stand him because he kills my Sabres every year.
Ovi and Crosby rivalry, but 10 years later, now that they're older, and we're seeing both of them kind of on their way out of the league in a few years, I just have the utmost respect for him. He's a great guy. That was my childhood, right? Crosby was Ovechkin. We're gonna be talking about that 50 years from now, that one Simpsons meme where the guy, the old guy sitting down on the log or whatever, telling the kids, back in my day, we used to watch Ovechkin and Crosby. Things
fight
like
each
that.
other in the playoffs, and it took Ovi 3 tries to get Sidney, and then he finally got him for a cup.
But going back to what you said about their whole retool, and here's my thing, and you brought up a good point a few months ago on another podcast. They're trying to find that happy medium, is what I think.
Right.
Because on one hand, yes, they want to retool because they certainly weren't going to win with the squad they had 2 years ago. No. So find as much draft capital as you can. All those kinds of things. Build for the future. But at the same time, Sid only has a few years left in the league. Sid doesn't want to spend his last few years in the league with a team that's retooling.
Right.
So you have to find that happy medium.
And he's going to be just like Mario. He's not going to want to go anywhere.
Right, exactly. So
even though everybody's like, he's going to go to Colorado and play at McKinnon. As much as I'd love to see that, and I probably would like starting Sidney Crosby then, he's not going to leave Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He's one of the very, very rare players that would be like, I'm going to got drafted by this team. I made all my success with this team. I'm staying there.
Right.
And I honestly think Malkin and Letang will be the same thing. I think if Gino does not get re-signed this upcoming season, people aren't going to like to hear this. I think he goes back to Russia.
I don't doubt that at all. I still feel the same way about Ovechkin.
But we'll see.
So yeah, with Crosby, Dubas isn't I know we make fun of Kyle Dubas a lot, but the guy's made some really good trades,
including this one.
Yeah, including this one, which I'm going to get to in 2 seconds. But keeping Sidney Crosby happy, trying to compete while retooling at the same time is a hard task. That is a very hard task. So I have a lot of respect for Kyle Dubas, especially now because the dude just acquired a second-round pick for Brett Kulak. Yeah, that's right. They swapped Sam Girard and Brett Kulak. So Brett Kulak goes to the Colorado. Brett Kulak goes to the Colorado Avalanche, not the Avalanche. The Avalanche. And Sam Girard is headed to Pittsburgh,
along with a 2028 second-round draft pick.
Somehow, Kyle Dubas snags a second-round pick for Brett Kulak and gets Sam Girard in the process. Look, Sam Girard. Now, I do feel bad for him. I know in the last couple of years he's had some off-the-ice issues, mental health and everything.
And injuries.
And injuries, that's right. Prone to turnovers on the ice, but certainly I'm hoping the best for Sam Girard. I know he's had a tough last few years, but to acquire him in a second round pick for Brett Kulak, who's a pending UFA, the guy's not making a whole lot of money. I don't even think he's making $3 million a year. And to be honest with you, I don't really know how much of a game changer he's going to be for Colorado. I know he's a great uh, defenseman, right? Doesn't really necessarily do a whole lot on the offensive side of the puck, like most defensemen. But I just, if I'm Colorado, I'm thinking to myself, why give up the second round pick? I feel like
Well,
they could have gotten away with just a little less. I think a second round pick was a little too
this
heavy.
might be a scenario like where hockey fans are like, remember when McLeod got traded for Savoy and we're like, oh my God, what was Buffalo doing? We all thought the value was super skewed.
Yeah,
This might be a scenario where hockey fans are like, Sam Girard you gave a second round pick with Girard to get rid of him. Because I think we all think the value is so skewed towards Girard over Kulak. But maybe in this case, it's like maybe Girard's value dropped enough to where Colorado's like, okay, we have to throw in a sweetener to acquire a guy that we need. And obviously, they feel that Brett Kulak's going to help them because, and I kind of had this point to you before we got on. I'm like, what does Pittsburgh need? They need
draft capital.
well, that, and they need a puck moving defenseman. What is Sam Girard? Yeah, defensively he's a liability, but he can be a good number 2 power play quarterback, and he's a good puck mover.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Pittsburgh needs, especially if they're trying to make a push, which it appears what Dubas is trying to do. He's trying to do both. He's trying to acquire capital and make a push to the playoffs, which I think is a ballsy strategy, and we'll see if that works. See how it plays out for him, Cotton. But I think for Colorado, I think the time for Girard, I think, was coming to an end, and I think we all kind of knew it. Especially after Malinsky got re-signed.
Yes.
Which is another defensive guy they have that doesn't really score a lot. So in reality, they've got two they got Makar and Taves, who obviously are your offensive guys. Do me a favor, look up who their other guys on the decor are, because there's one other guy I'm forgetting and I shouldn't be. There's Josh Manson. He's known for his defensive game. Malinsky's more defensive. Now they bring in Kulak, who is known for his defensive game, and you just moved out a puck mover in Sam Girard.
Right.
So we're looking at another puck mover they have to have.
Brent Burns.
Okay, so that's why. Brent Burns is more of an offensive guy, too. So Brent Burns is your other offensive
totally forgot
guy.
about that. I totally forgot Brent Burns played for the Avalanche.
I guess I'm a casual, apparently. Brent Burns
so am I.
Colorado. But yeah, but Burns would be their other puck mover. So now they can run a pair of like Kulak and Burns and then Manson, or they can just kind of put Burns with somebody else because Taves and Makar aren't going anywhere as a top pair. So I guess it makes sense. And because in the playoffs, you're going to need guys that, are able to get the puck out of your own net. And Brett Kulak does a good job with that. Kulak currently this season has 9 points over 56 games, one of those being a goal and the other being assists. He scored that only goal with Pittsburgh, evidently, in the 25 games he played. He played 25 games, had 7 points. He's averaging just under 19 minutes a night. So he's been steady, reliable for the Penguins and the Oilers this year.
Yeah.
And on the flip side with Girard, he's not had a good year.
Here I got it for you. It's 3 goals, 9 assists.
In 25 games?
Yep. He's 27 years old.
He's still somewhat young.
Yeah, he's still somewhat young. And then, Kulak on the other hand, the dude's 32. This would have made, I do like what you said about the second round pick. I feel like, I don't know, if Girard's contract were worse, I would have understood it at the time. Because he only has 2 years left on this deal. He's only making $5 million a year. If his contract were any worse, then I could see them attaching the second round pick, which is why it was kind of a head scratcher to me. But this just goes back to what I said about Kyle Dubas always finding that, not a diamond in the rough, but somehow, some way, trying to get some draft capital and just making it work. He's great at doing that, and it's really making me mad because over the last few months, I've been talking about how Kyle Dubas is just, or at least in his first year, I was just talking about how directionless he was, and then at this time during, was it the trade deadline or the offseason? It was during the offseason. He started making some great trades for the Penguins because this team had no chance of competing.
No, it was around the trade deadline. You're right, because they traded out Bunting for Tommy Novak, and then
Yes, yep. So it was around this time last year where they finally started shipping out some guys for some draft capital. They started to retool, and that's exactly what they needed. And cut to it 1 year later, he's still doing this. He's still finding a way to manage to get a second round pick out of freaking Brett Kulak.
And we're sitting back like, remember when we made fun of the Yager Chinikov trade? Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
He's been fantastic for Pittsburgh. He's been great. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah,
man?
As a Capitals fan, 1 year later, after making fun of him for being so directionless, Kyle Dubas is really pissing me off. He's doing a great job.
And that's a compliment, Penguins fans.
Yes, I'm a Capitals fan. Right.
Barry, we're talking to you. But now that we've got the NHL stuff out of the way, they're back tonight. We'll have more news for you next week. We got to talk about the Olympics. And we're going to start out with the ladies. They go undefeated in the tournament. They defeat Canada 2-1 in overtime. You'll see that's a theme when we get to a certain spot later. Megan Keller scores the golden goal for the Americans. They win the gold over the Canada in the Olympics. Just fantastic. They were down all game, and Hillary Knight, arguably the I can make an argument as the greatest American female skater of all time, tips in a puck home to tie it, and then Megan Keller makes a sweet move. We can't show up, but watch it on your socials and YouTube. Makes a gross move to win it for the Americans. Just fantastic. A very young, very good team. They've earned it. I love it. American women's hockey is starting to really blow up now, as it should.
Yeah.
Well, women's hockey in general, just to just broaden it up. Someone's like, oh yeah, American hockey is, but like women's hockey in general is blowing up, and I love it. I hope more PWHL expansions happen, specifically one in Buffalo, because Buffalo has a very rich history of women's sports and hockey. With the Buttes back when they were a team. I love it. It's fantastic. I love it for the college girls. Abby Murphy going to be a first overall pick. Layla Edwards. Fantastic tournament. She was great. The first African American woman to win a medal as a hockey player, which is fantastic. Just all around great stuff for the women's team.
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. The one person I wanted to highlight was Layla Edwards. Yeah, fantastic. She had an amazing Olympics, and the Megan Keller goal. Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat watching that. That was incredible. So yeah,
got to shout out KK Harvey too. She also won tournament MVP for the Americans.
Yes, yeah, outstanding performance by the women. Way to represent America! Woo! USA.
Speaking of America, Aidan's doing his player of the day early because I just feel like we have to. I'm going to give you the draft here and the draft overall, and you're going to get it instantly. Okay. He was drafted number 1 overall in 2019 New Jersey Devils. Who is he?
Quinn Hughes. Jack Hughes, baby. Let's go.
Jack Hughes is the player of the day for me, and I know Aidan. I know, guys. Aidan, that's super simple. You know why? Because he's the golden man in America right now for the men.
That poster. Oh my gosh, that still gives me chills, man. The fist up in the air,
broken teeth,
bloody mouth, smiling to the
flag,
freaking crowd. The flag overs. That poster is going to go platinum in every single college dorm room in America. Oh my gosh.
So, as we're getting into, the United States wins their first gold medal in Olympic competition since 1980. It's been 46 years. Jack Hughes is the hero. They defeat Canada 2-1 in overtime. Matt Boldy got it started with a goal, and then Cal McCarr in the second period tied it. Connor Hellebuyck with the greatest save of all time in Olympic play, robbing Devon Taves on the doorstep.
Oh my God. The save is trademarked, by the way, from the 2018 Stanley Cup. All right. Yeah, the save is trademarked. Yeah, sorry. Right.
Anyway. But it's okay. Robbing Devon Taves on the doorstep. Connor Hellebuyck is the reason why the United States won this game. Canada outshot them 42-28, which, Canada played great, but couldn't hit an open net when they tried. And the Americans, they've played well all tournament. They've deserved it, and they earned it. And I'm proud to be an American. Like, as a hockey fan, it's fantastic. It's awesome to see USA sports finally back on the rise, especially in hockey. Like, it's great, especially watching my boy Tage Thompson get a medal. It's especially gold. It's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Proud of everybody. And yeah, Jack Hughes is the hero. And if you would have told me at the beginning of the Olympics that, oh yeah, Jack Hughes going to be one of the best players for the Americans in this tournament, I would look at you and said, ha, you're funny. But he was genuinely. Connor McDavid also won tournament MVP. Rightly so. He had the most points. He was great. I could have put an argument in for Quinn Hughes, had a point in every single game, and also Macklin Celebrini, the stand up for the Sharks, who was fantastic throughout the entire tournament.
Yep. Couldn't have said it better myself. Super proud to be American. Super proud of my country. Just unbelievable effort. And super great effort by the Canadians too.
They were outstanding.
They were outstanding. They controlled the entire game, especially the third period. They poured it on them. Oh my gosh. I honestly couldn't believe the USA forced an overtime. I really thought Canada was going to score in the last 5 minutes of the game. I'm surprised the USA even won in overtime. That first period, the USA, they showed up. It was good. Second period, it was pretty even. But, man, that third period, Canada poured it on them. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, man, it's over. I really thought Canada was going to pull through. But Hellebuyck, man, oh, my gosh, unbelievable. Yeah, what more can you say? It was truly unreal.
And Jets fans are like, where the heck has this been all year?
No, seriously. And Bennington, same thing with Bennington, with the exception of the last goal.
But it's a bad turnover by McCarr, 3-on-1. Yes. What are you going to do?
Yes, it is. I feel like there's so much more I want to say, but yeah, I'm just super proud of them. They got the job done. I can't believe it. Really, really happy.
Also, quick to note, Finland won bronze over Slovakia. Slovakia, their miracle run comes to an end, unfortunately, without a medal. Bump for those guys. Sofkoski and them had a great tournament, but Finland who had a 2-0 lead against Canada in the semifinals, had a chance, and they lost. They lost very late in that game. Take bronze. So congrats to all our Finnish friends, and here's to hopefully 2030 we can see these guys do it all over again.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I wish this was every year. I don't know. I don't know when they're gonna do Four Nations again. They're probably gonna do an all-star,
Hopefully 2028
tournament next year.
Hopefully 2028.
I wish they would. Yeah. I mean, it'll be 2028, but I don't know.
We hope so. And I don't want it to be Four Nations. I want it to be more than just 4 teams.
Dude, I know. Look, I know. I talked about this last episode. I'd love to see Russia in there. Like they're a powerhouse.
You know who I secretly want to see?
Who?
Czechia.
Yeah, it could be good. Yeah. Yeah. Not much more else I can say. I know Canada played their heart out. Yeah, it just great effort by everyone. Celebrini, man, he was excellent the entire tournament for being 19 years old. Imagine that dude 4 years from now when he's 23, how good he's going to be for Canada. Canada just has a pipeline of generational talents from Crosby to McKinnon to
Celebrini and Bedard, who didn't work the tournament. Should have been in the tournament.
Should have been in the tournament.
Should have been in the tournament.
Yeah, unbelievable. I did feel bad for Celebrini. I know he had a lot of chances. McDavid had a chance, then the McKinnon chance. But yeah. Unbelievable gold medal game. I wish I could. Yeah, I want to go back and watch it right now. Unbelievable.
There's YouTube.
Yeah.
But anywho, we're gonna keep this. It's gonna be a short episode for you guys today. Not a lot, plus a little bit of a time crunch. But Sean, who's my rated player today for me?
Shoot, actually, I don't think I have one. I'm gonna come up with one on the spot.
All right, we can BS for a little bit.
Okay, this guy. Pull up his stats. I just thought of him right
now.
This guy is a forward. Okay, he is a forward. I'm gonna see who he was drafted by. Let me pull him up real quick. Sorry to everyone watching. It's loading right now. I promise. I totally forgot about this because when you said you had one for your Olympic player, I was like, okay, who's this gonna be? Okay,
pretty cut and dry.
First round draft pick in 2014 by the Blue Jackets.
Okay.
16th overall pick.
Forward.
Yep, forward.
Okay.
So he played 7 games between 2015 and 2017 for the Blue Jackets. And then he started kind of playing for them from 2017 to 2020. Yeah, full time. 55 games, 46 games, in those 2 seasons. 14 goals in 2017 with the Blue Jackets. Anyway, he was traded to Anaheim for Devon Shore. Okay. So he played for Anaheim, and then he was signed by Washington in 2022. Who's this, Aidan?
It's my boy Frank. It's Sonny Milano.
We talked about it before the show, so that's why he came in my head.
Sonny Milano. You had me confused for a second, so you said he got signed by Washington. I'm like, wait a minute.
What did I should have thought of someone beforehand. I totally forgot to get a player.
Frank's a good one.
We had literally talked about Sonny Milano getting waived like a few hours ago.
Poor Frank.
Yeah, poor Frank. He'll find a home. He'll do just fine. I have no doubt about Frank. Unfortunately, his time just kind of fell out of favor in Washington. It was to be expected. I think he only had a year left on his deal anyway.
Yeah.
So Frank will find a new home. Frank will do just fine. But yeah, Frank Milano, Sonny Milano is our player of the day.
Good old friend Frank.
Yep.
But anyway, guys, that's all we got for you. We'll catch you guys next week for, I guess, our 1-year anniversary. We will have some cupcakes to celebrate with some candles.
I'm excited. Well, unfortunately, we're going to be away from each other. I'm not going to see your pretty face in front of me for the next episode. We're going to be away. We're going to do the old hybrid method.
The old hybrid method. The old Discord method. But
Discord. Yep.
But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy, if you're college students watching this, enjoy your spring break if you're here at SBU or anywhere else that has a spring break this upcoming week. And, always like, share, subscribe, Afterthought Sports. We're pumping out content still. Free agency is almost here, along with the draft for the NFL. Postseason's almost here for the NBA, and spring training just started with the World Baseball Classic coming up here in a couple weeks. All very, very exciting. And if you're into the redneck type of stuff, there's NASCAR going on currently. They're in Coda. They're in Coda this week at the Circuit of the Americas. Hopefully Tyler Reddick does not win every single race this year, which appears to be the trend so far.
I don't know who that is.
So he's won both Daytona 500 and the last race at Echo Park in Atlanta. So anywho, the hockey guys are signing out. Until next week, we'll catch you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you later.
Trade deadline special next week. Tune in. Thanks for watching, guys.